views and opinions expressed on The Big Llama Show are those of the host and guest. They do not reflect that of our sponsors, advertisers, or employers. Enjoy the show.
It's in the she ruckus. Dead beat, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You ain't a killer, boy, stop. I hear you yelling stacks on deck, boys.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Big Llama Show. I'm The Big Llama. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't do this show alone. The Big Llama Show is not by one, it's by many, and the one that helps me out every week, my co-host, Blackout AD. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up?
Man, a pleasure always having you on week to week. This is, it's again, officially the Big Llama Show with co-host Blackout AD. So again, the show does not run with just one. It has to be at least two. It's like a, was it like a formula? It's at least two, or it doesn't work. Otherwise,
and it's a monumental episode as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Episode 20. Episode 20, which is, 20 weeks of doing this week in and week out. We only missed 1 week, and that was, I think it was a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
And that was it. So 20 weeks of the show. Really, really excited. We're celebrating something on the show. Again, it's the 20th episode, but it is also Llama-ween. So I made this for the loyal fans and subscribers. Here we go. Check.
I like
All right.
your editing skills.
Listen, we're upping the production value week to week, man.
Look at this guy go.
I know. Let's see. Let's before we get started on anything, we always want to check in with.
Let's hit the chat.
Let's hit the chat. Let's see. We've got Charles, right? Charles was in here. Where's Charles's information? I don't see it. Well, Charles was in here earlier. I don't know what happened. My StreamYard doesn't show it, but Charles was in here. We said it's all good, Charles. He watches us on the replay. So
yeah.
So Charles, thank you, man. We appreciate your love and support. He honestly comments on every video. Always has something positive to say. Loves the content. So Charles, thank you, man. Let's see,
you, Charles. And he was there early too before I even checked the show. Yeah. I was like, oh man.
Charles checks in. He's like, man, maybe these guys will be on early. Well, listen, we're on time, but we're not early. That's for sure. All right, Big Homie checks in. Showtime. Let's get it. That's right, Big Homie. Let's see. Oh, Big Homie's talking about number 20, Llama Nation, #blackout. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Number 20. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's been 20 episodes.
When we say 20 episodes, doesn't sound that long, but then when you're like, we've done this 20 weeks, I'm like, oh, right. Wow. We put some time into this.
Exactly. 20 weeks at about an hour and a half to 2 hours a clip. Yeah. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of airtime for sure.
Yeah.
All right. We got TGG.
That's Mrs. Functions. Yeah.
All right. That's dope.
That's her. That's her gamer brand. The
okay.
Girls. Yeah, that's her.
Nice. So yeah, you like the Llama-ween. I appreciate that. Let's see, Big Homie, super dope edit Llama. Yeah. See,
this guy's getting better, man.
I got a little excited. I said, it's Llama-ween. I gotta have a little intro for the people, and I came up with that real quick. It was nice. Let's see, John S. I'm only here to see the Big Llama dance. Oh God.
Damn.
John S. So again, John S. is becoming a regular contributor to a lot of the posts, a lot of the content. So John, yes. And so my Lost Boys retro rewatch, I teased a little bit at the beginning of that rewatch and did my sexy saxophone dance. And so if any of you have not seen it yet or are interested to see what that looks like, click on the link on the channel for the Lost Boys Retro Rewatch. It's the first thing you see.
Couple seconds, you hooked them in.
I hooked them in, and then and there's more to it. There's more dancing later, but you gotta watch the edit. We got Gabe Roman here talking about, yo, Gabe, how you doing, sir?
What up, Gabe?
Gabe is in the house.
Appreciate you, bro. Man,
a lot of love
today. Yeah,
I know.
Today.
A lot of love up in the chat. I'm liking this. Now, you're Gamer Girl, right? Your roommate? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So I've been popping in on her Twitch streams, which, she was playing some Dark Blood, some I forgot what it's called.
Oh,
some scary
game. Maybe?
Yeah, that's what it was. And so check out her, her on Twitch as well. Yep. So AD, again, we always like to give you, the spotlight for the beginning. What has your week been like? What have you been working on this week?
Streaming, man. Streaming not every day, but the days that we streamed this week, we went kind of long. I had a 5-hour stream, and then the next day a 6-hour stream, which 6-hour stream was the longest. And I'm kind of, I really didn't have a good time during the 6-hour stream. Like, I was just not feeling it. I kind of was just trying to vibe, and we got into some really competitive games. We won 5 games, which was also like the most wins on the island we've gotten in one day. So I was like, it was a good day gaming wise, but did not want to be there. But the fact that I stayed all 6 hours, I commended myself, because I was like, man, you could have just stopped the stream and not made any kind of content. At least I got some clips out of it, so. Yeah, just a lot of streams. And then even today I streamed like an hour 40 minutes and had like high volume. I got up to 7 viewers, like 53 live views, so like it's growing steadily, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
Now let's talk about your week. My week was I'm growing, but your week was like, I was like, look at this guy go, man.
Well, we're gonna talk about the week for sure. Miss Dysfunction checks in, very nice, dope game. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yes, I support all things Blackout, all things that you guys support. So yeah, I'm popping into your Twitch stream. I'm checking it out. The game looked pretty interesting. I guess it was it looked like a murder mystery. You're trying to solve things, but at the same time looked like Call of Duty. Yeah. I was just intrigued, so I watched for a little bit. It was awesome. So yeah, keep that going, because I was definitely entertained. It's stuff that I won't be able to play, honestly. Yeah. Because one, I don't have the time, and two, I'm not sure what I'm doing. So watching somebody else do it, maybe, will give me the spark to maybe try it.
And also it depends on like playing with people, because like she's been streaming with her parents, and like they all stream. Her dad streams. He has like a green screen behind. Her mom streams, and like they're doing it together. So I was like, man, that's kind of a dope concept. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we got our friends. Like, it's like kind of like how I got my group. She's got her group, and the fact that they're all streaming together kind of like it motivates you. You know what I mean? So
it's a family affair.
Yeah, I was like, man, I like that.
That's awesome. I'm hoping that when my kids get a little older, they want me to stream with them still. But oh, look, Gabe chimes in. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. That's right. That's right. But Gabe, we talked about this. There's pressure. There's pressure when you're on the stream to get it done right. So for sure. So yeah, the chat is popping. I like this. Keep it up, guys. Like I said, we'll keep featuring you guys. If you hit us up in the chat, definitely want to do that. But yeah, you want to talk about this week, right? This week that was. I got to thank people for subscribing. We went from, I think it was 190 at last broadcast, to 212 this week so far, and growing, which is to me amazing, that we would grow that fast. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down. It seems like every day, one or two, and a lot of it I have to credit to the new content that I'm putting out, which I'm enjoying tremendously, and I'm learning a whole lot. But I got to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. If you're on here and you're a new subscriber, John S., I know is a new subscriber over the course of the last couple of weeks. Thank you everybody for doing that. This has been an amazing week. We're going to talk about the content itself in a little bit, because I want to talk about what we're going to do moving forward. But a lot of cool stuff. So very, very exciting. There's a lot to get to today. So we're going to get to it. So let me see. All right. Whew. So, again, we'll keep hitting people up in the chat. We always kind of start off not necessarily diving right into the nerd stuff, because we love to get into, I know DC Fandome was out this week, so we're going to talk about that and some of the shows that they featured. Look, Big Homie's hitting me up again. Here we go. Big Homie, 212, congrats, hashtag Llama Nation. Yes. Yes, that's right. the hottest growing show on the net, right?
On the net right now.
On the net right now. Subscribe. No.
Start throwing. Oh, man.
You know what's funny is I do a lot of studying and for what I'm doing, and I've seen I've seen what some people on Twitch do. Like they're like, this one guy, he was like screaming every time he got a subscriber. I'm like, dude, I ain't got that kind of energy, man. He was like, subscribe, and he was like dancing and wailing, and I'm like, nah, that's not me.
People got
man.
like subscriber songs. They got like they all like a lot, especially on Twitch. I don't know about like maybe YouTube, but Twitch more so. They'll have their little live performance when somebody subscribes, or they'll have something they say, and then you can tell when they get to a certain level, they just don't want to do it anymore. I see a lot of people like, yeah, I used to do it. Oh, I'll do it one time for you, but like, I'm not trying to, because people, I guess they gravitate towards that.
They go crazy
from the chat. Maybe I need to do that. Just start screaming like super loud.
No, I mean, come on, man. We listen. We run a show. It's top notch, man. So look, John S has a comment here. He says, all of a sudden, reactors are doing the Lost Boys and the Exorcist. Very coincidental. Okay. I've now the Exorcist, which I'm going to get to, John, because I want to talk about that video.
Yeah.
Over 1,300 views at this point. And again, it's a 30-minute video. So
what's crazy? You got 300 of those views from yesterday morning because I was at work and I watched it. I was like, and then today I checked it again because you could see like the numbers growing and your subscribers growing with that one video. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
It's and one video, one video, and Feel the Dreams, which I haven't mentioned, which was the first reaction. That one's close to almost 1,200 as well. I mean, that one I had to split into 2 videos because I got copyrighted like 3 times on that thing. So yeah, that one blew up too, and that one got me a lot of subscribers as well. Miss Dysfunction here says the next big thing right here. Thank you. I hope so. And big homie Superstar.
Hey, chat. That's a chat favorite.
That is a chat favorite. It'll be a passion project. If I put that one up as a retro rewatch, I expect no views. I expect no traction. That is strictly for the diehard Llama Nation fans. That's what that's for. If you've been here from the beginning, if I do a Superstar retro rewatch, that is strictly for the fans.
That was like episode 6.
It was. Oh my God. So yeah, no, awesome stuff, man. So the channel's growing. I am so appreciative of that. And so here we go. Gabe, nice. Not too long ago you were saying you were unsure about the watch along videos. Yeah, so that's where it sort of manifested itself, is here, right? We talked about, I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. And then I finally got the nerve to actually do it. And it's been successful. So we're going to keep doing that for sure. Wow. So the chat room is on fire tonight. I love this, man. This is awesome.
20th episode. They understand it's a special occasion.
It's a special, 20 episodes.
I was saying this on stream before, but I think this is like a huge milestone for me as a content creator. I don't know how you feel. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but for me, like 20 weeks of this consistency, like I haven't done 20 episodes of anything, to be honest. You know what I mean? I've streamed over 500 hours, but that's the most consistent thing. Besides, like, putting out a scheduled content every week is kind of tough. You know what I mean? Like, finding what we want to talk about. I mean, we kind of went through, even like your channel kind of went through that change. The show kind of went through a change where we're not so topic heavy. We can just go into these kind of conversations. So, like, just seeing our growth as creators through just the 20 episodes, I say this every week, but like when we get to 100, when we get to 1,000 episodes, that's going to be nuts. We're going to be, I mean, even today, like the chat is the most popping it's been. And we keep saying every week we're growing, like chat wise. Oh yeah, and we've got regular contributors every week. We got new people joining us. I mean, I'm with you, man. It is something that I didn't think we'd get to at our inception of doing this, right? 20 weeks, in 20 consecutive weeks of doing the show. It's been a lot of fun, and you're right. The formula's changed, right? Like we trying new things and experimenting. We go from specific topic heavy. So we go, okay, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, to forget that, scrap that. We'll have something in the background
if we need it, right? But we're just going to talk to the people. We're going to talk to each other. We're going to talk about the week, and it's been awesome.
We started with the Loki show.
Right.
Like just reviewing Loki.
6 weeks of Loki, right? And that was fun. But you were right. I think you mentioned it. We were kind of hamstringing ourselves because there wasn't much more to talk about. We were just sort of focused on Loki for an hour.
And we were doing it on Sundays, which I think hurt us just in general, because if we would have did it right after the show or something, we probably would have benefited a little more. But like you said, we made our changes, and it goes to all the work you're putting in behind the scenes. Like you said, you're studying, you're learning, and it's showing. I mean, this week is and literally 2 episodes you were talking about how you were down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like kind of down on the content, and then you've had your best week 2 weeks later. Like that's the thing with this game that we're trying to get in is peaks and valleys. We got to just, like I said yesterday, my stream was tough, but the fact that I hit 6 hours, my longest stream ever. Like I have days where I'm having a great time, and by 5 hours, I'm like, all right, it's time to go. But last night I was like, well, I'm just gonna stick it out and continue growing because I'm putting consistent work out. Same with you.
For sure. Miss Dysfunction chimes in. Anyone can do 1 week, but to do 2.5 and go on stronger is an amazing feeling. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's just like I said, it's crazy to me. Plus, now when we prep for the show, AD and I always talk throughout the week. We say, oh, what are we going to talk about this week? Sometimes I sit down and I'm, I got my notes. I got show notes over here. But sometimes I sit down and I go, man, that's not going to give us more than 10 minutes. Like, I'm beside myself. And then before I know it, it's an hour and a half. We're trying to wrap up the show. And we're like, wow, we made it to an hour and a half again. And every single week
we forgot 2 topics.
Right. We were like, oh, we thought these 3 topics we were going to talk about was going to carry us through. So no, awesome stuff. I love this feeling that I get when we have people interacting.
Yep.
And it's just not on my topic, but I do want to talk about, since we're talking about people interacting, let me just write down that we're talking about this. The Llama rants, right? The Llama ranter. It's back.
I think the people like that.
So here's the thing, and I think if John S., you're still watching, I've seen you go back and forth with a couple of commenters, which I appreciate. It's a lot of passion in there. The Exorcist post has a ton of comments. And it's people that giving me factoids about the movie, answering some of the questions I had asked during the post. Yeah. But man, there was this one guy who hit me up, man, and I was gonna put him on blast on this show on live stream, but I figured, you know what, I don't want to give him, airtime. I don't want to give him, the satisfaction if he's watching, or give him more subscribers. But here's how his comments started. His comments started with, "Hey, moron." And I stopped reading because my eyes look like your room right now, red. I said, "Oh, who is this guy? He doesn't even know who I am. He's going to call me a moron." And I probably wrote my comments 16 times. Everything from cursing him out. Yep. Then I got personal with it. I checked on his channel, and he's got, the greatest hits of pop icon Janet Jackson and Shakira. That was his video list. And I was like, I was writing everything down. And then I just said, you know what? There's no need for name calling, bro. I feel your passion. Thanks for watching and for supporting the channel. So I had to take the high road, but man, I was pissed, man, because but I talked to somebody about it, and they said, another YouTuber who has thousands of subscribers, and he's like, yeah, man, they're going to be mean, and as you get bigger, they're going to get even meaner. And I said, okay, that's fine with me because I can deal with it. But I always take the high road, and that always pisses me off. I really want to zing some of these guys, but at the same time, I'm the big llama, man. I got an image to uphold, man. I can't go out there just
calculated. You gotta do it like how Jay-Z attacks rappers. He just subtly says something that only that rapper will know and pick up on, and then they're like, "Damn, he got me." But then he just seems like he's just doing his own thing, So
yeah, and here John S is commenting. There's always a trash mouth or two comes with the territory. I let that one guy have it, but he turned out to be a good guy. Yeah, that's why I referenced you, John, because John was going back and forth with this guy, and yeah, John gave him an ass whooping right on the comments, and they kind of settled it out. Like you read 6 comments down, they're like best friends at the end.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram. We'll have a nice talk.
Like, DM me later. Let's talk about it. But no, I'm telling you, it's just something. It's something that I anticipated, but I was, the first one that hit me, you're just like, damn, that hurt a little bit. That hurts.
And it's gonna get worse and more on.
Oh yeah, I'm for sure. It's gotta love the hate. So this is Miss Dysfunction. Gotta love the hater. They are just jealous. Yes, jealousy and envy. That's for sure.
Because they hate us.
That's right. You beat me to it. I was thinking that right there. Oh man. So yeah, I got some haters there, and listen. I got to take the high road. I'm gonna take the high road. I honestly do appreciate the passion that goes into it, because honestly, some things that I do on the rewatch is part of it is my true thought on it. Mm-hmm. Some of it is I just want to, sometimes I try to be witty because I'm not sure how this is going, So I'm trying to test out some things, and I understand that if you're really passionate about a movie or passionate about a particular item that I may joke about, totally get that I rubbed somebody the wrong way. I actually had some lady hit me up say, I mean, the Exorcist stuff is getting crazy. I had a lady hit me up talking about, hey, check out my video. It's about this lady who got PTSD from watching The Exorcist. Wow. And I was freaked out, man. I was like, I wrote her back, no problem. I'm going to check it out. I checked it out. Man, freaked me out. I was like, oh, dear God. I got to stop watching these scary movies, man. They're starting to scare me.
You got a couple more weeks of Llama-ween.
Oh, my
stick
God.
to it. You made a nice little intro. You got to stick to it now.
I got to bring that into the Llama-ween segment. Oh my God. All right. So before we get to the next topic, it's been 20 minutes, so it's time for a commercial break. And the commercial today is brought to you in part by the Big Llama Show podcast. If we haven't mentioned it before, the Big Llama Show is obviously live every single Sunday, but also can be heard on a replay wherever you find podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any and everywhere. The Big Llama Show is available. It is free to enjoy every single week, and the actual podcasts get posted the night of the show. So as soon as we go off the air, within 20 to 30 minutes, that podcast is up and running and ready for you. If you want to enjoy it the next morning, or if you loved it so much you want to replay it, you can. Now, again, podcasts are available for free. Apple Podcasts is one of the most popular ones for us. Spotify. There are ways to support the channel there on Spotify if you want to support. Completely up to you if you want to donate to the Big Llama Show. That is not something that we push here. We really just want to get our content out and get some people out there. So again, that's my plug for the Big Llama Show podcast. Make sure you tune in and you subscribe.
The Apple numbers were okay last week?
The Apple numbers are holding pretty steady, nice. But it is our highest traffic. So Apple for sure. Apple Podcast has gotten us a lot more unique viewers than we've had before. So before we were swimming at 4 or 5 unique viewers, where Apple Podcasts is somewhere in 18 or something like that. So new people are getting to hear it, even if it's for 30 seconds or 2 minutes, whatever. Yeah. It's an opportunity. So we'll take that. All right. So AD, let's talk about something else. Let's shift. This is something that I wanted to share only because it was something mind blowing, and it just, to me, it makes me angry that I can't think of these radical ideas. So I went on a tour. I went on a tour today. Went on Amazon, and my wife booked this tour of Peru. Mind you, I'm still here. I'm still in Port St. Lucie, so I didn't go to Peru and come back. But apparently on Amazon, you can hire a one-on-one tour guide that's live and direct in the country that you're looking for. And this is why I think it's freaking genius, right? The tour guide was amazing because I got to see things that I haven't seen since I was a little kid, and I have not been back to Peru since 1992. So I'm very curious about this, but it was great. It was a great experience for the family, and that's the gist of what I got out of it. It was fun. Now, me being the savvy businessman that I am, I noticed something about this tour, and a lot of it revolved around potentially buying items from these tour guides through Amazon. And so It's on sale right now. Right now it's like $10. They give you an hour of this person's time that you go around. It's normally I think $30 or something like that. And mind you, disclaimer: I'm not being paid by Amazon. This is not an ad for them. I'm just telling you what I did and how freaking genius this is. So the tour guide goes and meets us and whatever. We're watching it on the TV. She can hear us. We can hear her, but she can't see us, obviously, and so which is great. It's great because I'm in my shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not looking the greatest. So, but mind you, she does the tour and then she walks into a store, and she's like, "Would you like to buy any souvenirs?" Well, nostalgia in me is like, hell yeah, I want to buy some souvenirs. You're in Peru. You're gonna ship me something from Peru via Amazon Prime? I'm all for it. And what I'm telling you. She lifted up a Peru jersey, a soccer jersey.
Okay.
My son loved it. I got it. Dad, let's get it. All right, let's get it. Now, me not being quick on the conversion of dollars to sol, which is the Peruvian currency, freaking jersey was $50 to $60.
Oh yeah, standard.
And the shipping was like $35 for it. And I'm like, oh, they got me. That's $80 right there. My wife does, she's looking at scarves. Oh, pick this one up. Let me see it. She opens it up. And right there on my screen, the lady scans a couple things, and sure enough, the total comes up, the amounts come up, the actual product comes up.
Wild.
Wild, man. Wild. And then I have to just confirm it and buy it like it's just an Amazon product. And I'm like, this is freaking genius. Like,
they
who
really don't
thought
want
of
us to
this?
leave the house. They really don't want us to leave the house, bro.
I mean, she'll go wherever you tell her to go. Like, we were like, oh, can you go to the right over here and check out the cathedral? And she like walked over the cathedral and told you everything about it. Hey, is there a river over there? Can you walk over to the river and let me see the river? And she walked right over and you can see the river. I mean, that in itself is genius.
And the quality was good?
The quality was decent. She had a little bit of she had a little bit of problem when she went into the actual store. I guess she lost some connectivity. But apparently there's a refund policy. If you lose connectivity for more than 10 minutes, they give you back your money. Because there was the minute she was out of connectivity, there was a timer running, says in 10 minutes you get your money back. I mean, but again, genius, just the idea in itself that you have these guided tours. There's tours of Italy, there's Japan, a lot of Japan stuff, which that's my next one. Because not only do I want to see Japan, I'm going to want to buy some stuff there, like for sure, But again, incorporating and this is just capitalist genius. It's like incorporating the money.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe that's what they did that, and how seamless it was that I spent $180 on souvenir stands in Peru.
Leave your house.
I didn't even leave my house.
Now I'm trying to think, like, is this like a DoorDash type of service where you just go sign up and then you like if I'm in Denver right now, I could tour guide Denver and sell this and this, because there has to be a list of stuff you can like areas you can go in and get Amazon style products.
Well, I think honestly, and this is what I think, because in Peru, I don't think they're as coordinated.
Yeah.
She literally had to take a picture. She said, I got to take a picture of it. She sent some details through, and Amazon posted it as if it was a product on their page. Which I was like, oh, this is mad. This is genius. But yeah, maybe there's a DoorDash thing for you. You could be walking around Denver or Colorado and be like, guys, if you look over here, it's my house.
This is where we film the Big Llama show, right in this area.
Exactly. No,
Would you like to buy this mic signed?
Yeah, exactly. We've got Llama merch. Just here, let me take a picture. No, but that, to me, like I said, it's awesome and sad and brilliant all at the same time, right? It's because, like you said, I don't even have to leave my house. Now, it makes me long to go travel for sure, and that was just I was blown away. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. I was a little skeptical of how it would be. Yeah. But and then at the end, when we're wrapping up, she revealed, because you can't see who she is. Like, you can see like a hand and she's pointing, but she turns the camera and then just like so the tour's over. What other questions you got? And now I can see. And she's like, I'm just trying to make it personal so that hopefully you had a good time with the tour.
Yeah.
And we were like, this was amazing. And then I discovered something else. So and I will preface this by saying I am not trying to create a division of who wants to be vaccinated or not. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
What she asked me was, because we asked like, what's COVID like over there? Because we were curious. We're like, what's it like? And she basically said, we have to double mask. She gave us the protocols from the government, whatever. And she asked us, and I don't know if she was supposed to, but she's like, "Are you guys vaccinated?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, we're vaccinated. What the hell?" And then she went into, there's a growing anti-vax movement in Peru, and I go, "Holy shit! It's not just here." And like I said, I'm not trying to, for anyone watching this, I'm not trying to get political on whether you should get vaccinated or not. That's your business. I was so amazed that I thought it was an isolated American thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was, in a vacuum, the vacuum that I live in the United States, I thought, oh, we're only having this problem here. Yeah. And it turns out it's a universal thing that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, to me, was like the eye-opening world experience, which was, okay, it's not just here. It's a growing movement, but it's the power of the internet. It's the power of information and how fast it goes around the world, because she basically spouted some of the same things I've read here.
Yeah.
And that the government's having problems trying to get people to, vaccinate, The only thing I noticed too is that they don't have, it's not as readily available for them. They said they're waiting for shipments at times. So that's normal for a third world country, but.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's almost like we're trained to only think about the United States as like the United States being majority of the world when we're just a country. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
we control the media. We control, like they say, if you control the media, you control the minds of the masses. So that's why it seems like it's just a United States thing, but it's definitely worldwide. And that's honestly kind of sad because, it could be worse in other places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and like I said, I just, this whole experience just showed me a couple of things, right? One, that money rules all. Like anywhere, if you got to hustle and you've got an idea, money can be made.
I am curious. You think it came after COVID, this like Amazon thing?
Oh, it had to. It had to have because people weren't traveling. I'm not sure how long the program has been up. I know it's on sale now, so I think they're trying to promote it. Yeah. And we, my wife put it on her Facebook page, and like 6 of our friends are going to try to do it as well. And so it's going to grow in the usage. But for me, it was totally worth it. For me, it was $10, but I'd pay $30 for it just to have fun and see a site. Or if I'm trying to preview whether I want to go somewhere.
Yeah. That's what I think that's about too, as well.
Yeah, I think what it did was, for Mama Llama, it gave her sort of the green light to say, oh, it's not so bad. It's just, you have your preconceived notions of what a third world country is going to be looking like. And, you can tell her 100 times there's Hiltons in Peru. But until you actually see it, you are kind of like, I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. So it might give more people to start traveling. But again, genius idea. Yeah, if you want to DoorDash it in Colorado, man, you got to look into it, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. It just blows my mind how technology is moving to that. They're really not trying to have us leave the house. We're gonna live in like a real matrix.
Right, exactly.
It almost seems like it's going that way.
And shows like this will be the underground, discussion, the underground information superhighway will be, live streamers just, getting the word out. I don't know, man. We could write a movie on that one.
It's dope though.
Listen, I just amazed by that. All right, let's talk about the channel, and let's talk about some of the things we're working on. So, if this week we dropped the retro rewatch, the movie reaction to The Lost Boys, which featured a dancing llama right in the beginning. It was fun to revisit movies, and I like these types of rewatches, but what I'm finding is obviously that they're not as popular as the first time reactions. People love to see people's first reactions on things, and they want to hear their opinions on, like, did you feel the same way about this movie that I did? So the retro rewatch I thought was a good idea, but I just didn't. I don't know that it has the legs to keep going, and it's time consuming. I mean, but I'm not sad that I did it. You know, I'm very excited that I did it because I had a lot of fun, and it does help me watch these movies in a different light. But it just doesn't have the volume of the traffic. So
yeah, I mean, you could do it maybe once a month or something, like one segment of it. But with your first time reactions, I mean, you see what they're doing. Like, I was thinking about this yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago when you posted the paranormal review. I was like, man, if you would actually posted the reaction, what would that have been like?
Oh, that thing would have exploded, man. That would have exploded because that slowly after that, I saw, you know, there was like, you know, at least 100 channels that had Paranormal Activity either that week or were coming up.
There's a new one coming out.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, like number 6. So that's also, you would have did it at a good time. Sucks.
Yeah, no. So you know, with The Exorcist, again, it was a very, very passionate group of people who got it. It's still getting views.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that it's getting as many views as it is. And some of the people are hitting me with some of the stuff that I said towards the end of the video. So I know they're watching it all the way through, which is great because from a YouTube perspective, it's all about how long you watch the video and the interactions. And so the average time of people watching the video is high. So yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep doing those. What I've decided for the channel is that I'm going to just do first time watches. So the next one I'm planning is the movie Carrie. It's a 1970s movie, and that's for John S. over there who likes those 70s movies.
Did you see the newest one? Because then you could do like a first time watch of the newer one as well. I don't know what year it came out, but
I think it was 2013 or 20 something like that. But it's fairly recent. But yeah, no, the next one I'm going to do is probably Carrie. And then there was another 70s movie that I was thinking about, and they're all scary movies. But again, that's where I'm going to go with the channel. Is going to go first time movie rewatches, first time movie watches and reactions.
I'm telling you, watch VHS, man. You're going to get your reactions out of that.
Oh yeah, no. It's on my list. It's on my list. But again, it's one of those things where it's sort of like a gamble, right? Like you're testing out new products and you're seeing what works, what sticks. And the first time watches seem to be sticking, and so we're going to go with that. We're going to give the people what they want. It's been fun. Like I said last week, the only hardest thing is the editing piece because you have to become a storyteller in your editing, and and again, it's helping me become a better content creator. Because I think even with the retro review the movie review of Paranormal Activity, I added more splices of different clips, and I'm adding more other content to the not just me talking. So
I even saw, I forgot, it might have been a Paranormal Activity, but you're like Llama and you did Thunder. And I was like, oh, that's a little fancy. I was like, that's fancy. You can see your work improving through your editing as well, which I think that holds me back as a creator because I like going live and I like having like dope gaming clips. I don't want to learn editing because I know how much time it's going to take, and I just kind of want to stream and do that. But I think learning editing does make you just a way better, especially in a competitive market like this. Like, that's just another tool you have to compete with. You know what I mean? Only you could. I think people edit themselves the best. You know what I mean? You could hire an editor and they won't capture you like you will.
Yeah, I mean, editing my first couple of videos when I first started the channel was difficult, and it took me a long time. But you find shortcuts, and you figure out, okay, if I record this and this piece together, it's going to be easier. So even for the next the next first time watch, I basically figured out how to record both the movie and my reaction all at once. So when I edit, it's not as many pieces coming together. Yeah. So I figured that out in sort of some testing. So hopefully that trims down my time and I can watch more movies and put them out faster. But yeah, it's and the other thing I'm learning about is copyright. Oh my God, that is the worst thing on YouTube. Hold on, we have a commenter here. Miss Dysfunction. Patience is the key, but I totally understand. Yes, it's definitely tough. But the copyright stuff, man. Like I've gotten to. So, for example, the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
There are literally 5 edits. 5 edits I made. That means 5 times I edited, 5 times I uploaded it, and 5 times I got kicked off YouTube for copyright. And then I figured, and this was at the 6th edit, honestly. Yeah. I had to, you have to make it so that it's, because what I like to do is, it's almost like I tell stories, right? I don't just get right into the story. I give you a little bit of background, and I hit you with the main story. Same thing with my reactions. I try to give you a little piece of the film that will sort of guide you into what I was thinking. And what I'm finding is like I don't have the luxury of that because of copyright. I let the clip sit too long, and in order for copyright to to get to sort of move away from your video, you got to chop it. Yeah. So like for a second, I see something, I got to talk, bring it back. Yeah. I've got filters and I've got all this other stuff that I try to do with it too. But yeah, it's 5 different times I tried it, and on the 6th one, I finally hit it. I felt so good. I was like, oh God, I've been editing this for a week. And then it got like 20 views. So
part of the grind, brother. Part of the grind.
Totally part of the grind. Part of everything that we do. All right. Let's see. All right. So the chat room's been a little quiet, which is good. It's fine. We are at... What's that?
I said, now we can talk.
Now we can talk. No. That's fine. Listen, hit us up in the chats as much as you want, guys. We appreciate it. That's what we live off of this stuff. But we're at the 20-minute mark, so that means it is time for another commercial break. And so this commercial break is brought to you in part by the Big Llama Show merch store. Essentially, the Big Llama Show merch store is available. Links are in the description. It's just a way to support the show. There's Halloween, color shirts that are available. Yeah. It's essentially, t-shirts, got hoodies, got tank tops, all the good stuff. We got coffee mugs and tumblers. I use Teespring. So if anyone's used that before, I can tell you, I do this not to make a profit. It's simply to get the name out there. I think if anything, I make a profit, it's like $1 or $2. I go over the minimum amount of profit on these stores. So if you'd like to buy some, support the show, that's great. Hope you like the quality. I'm actually ordered some shirts and some hoodies for me to have here to sample and to demonstrate. So I'll have those in the next few weeks, I hope. But yeah, no, awesome stuff. All right, here we go. We've got Kimberly Ray Smith saying, hi, boys. All right. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Big Llama Show. Let's see. John S. is hitting us at Carrie should get you big numbers. The remake, not so much. It came and went. Yeah, John. So again, John, you've actually been helping me with, ideas for scary movies. And Carrie is one that I know the shot. I know the Carrie, the famous scene that's on the cover of the VHS. Yeah. My mom, who, she's no longer with us, but, my mom never edited anything. And Carrie was the one movie she said I cannot watch. And I've always been intrigued, but I've never had the chance to sit down and really go back and watch it. And so I know, because it's been in pop culture, that there's a scene where she's like bloody, and that's all I know. Yeah. And she's got this crazy looking face. So I can't wait to see it. But yeah, this is it's the rare time that my mom actually is like, nope, no mijo, no, eso no. And I'm like, dude, like what? Like, I've watched everything.
Did she ever tell you why?
No, she never just said. And I think maybe, I don't know, maybe she knew something about the movie that I didn't know. Like I said, I can't wait. I really can't wait to see it. Only because it's a classic movie that everyone talks about, and I think it's been parodied and spoofed like 100 times over. But so yeah, no, John S has been providing some. And when I get off of the October kick, I'm going to definitely watch. I think it's the French Connection, which I heard has the greatest chase scene ever filmed. Or put to film. and I've never seen that movie. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. I think it's The French Connection, but definitely. Oh, here we go. John S. is letting me know why here. There's some nudity in the girls' locker room. Okay. So yeah, my mom, maybe that's why.
For you. Yeah, she don't want
You know,
she don't want you to get cooties.
maybe that's why my mom was like, no, mijo, no, you cannot watch that. And what's funny is I'm assuming here's my assumption, John, is that that nudity happens early in the movie because my mom did not stay awake through movies. So I'm assuming that's what happened because there is no way my mom watched that movie from beginning to end.
She saw it, was like, look, boobs. Knockout.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably what happened. Oh my God. So that's where the channel is going. We do first time watches only. And we'll do some rewatches if people are clamoring for them. Oh, John's telling me, yes, it was the second scene. Okay. All right. So John, now I got my editing skills I got to work on my editing skills, because if there's nudity, I definitely can't post that stuff on the channel. So it might just be my face like this, on the reaction with something blurred in the background. All right, I can't wait. So that's coming up this week, and I got to pick a second one because I want to do 2 movies this week.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you gonna do 2 of the first time watches a week now?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to 2. So the plan is usually Monday and Tuesday nights I will sit down and watch those 2 movies, and then I'll be editing throughout the week. I try to release one Thursday going into Friday, and then one by the Sunday that we post the show. That's if I have the time and can do it, but there's at least going to be one this week, and Carrie is the one I'm shooting for. The second one, I'm tossing it up between the 70s movie and Evil Dead from the 80s. Never seen any of those, and I heard that people love that kind of stuff. So awesome. So it is Llama-ween. All right, AD. Something else happened this week. DC Fandome hit us this week.
We got a crazy amount of news, a copious amount.
Oh my God, there was just so much, and Marvel hit them with a little underhanded blow, with some Tom Holland news. So I don't know if you caught this, but I saw the DC Fandom stuff, and I watched all the trailers, and I enjoyed every single one of them. The one thing I thought to myself first was, thank God I am not doing trailer reactions that often, because there was a ton of trailer reactions, and I enjoyed watching other people react to them. But I was like, oh, thank you, because that would have been editing for days. Yeah. But I did hear that Tom Holland is referring to No Way Home as sort of the end of the.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
The trilogy series or sequel, series, and I'm like, wow. I just, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, dear God, that's amazing.
Now, if it's true, then that means he's going to Sony for sure.
Yeah, right. To the Venom verse or whatever it is, or, one thing I heard. I think someone was talking about that comment said, Tom Holland needs Spider-Man more than Spider-Man needs Tom Holland. And the way that they prove that is because of you're excited about Tobey Maguire. You're excited about Andrew Garfield. Like, you're excited about these other Spider-Men coming into the world. Kind of puts Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the back burner a little bit if they can't get him back, or if something happens. But I don't know. I honestly think a lot of people who are now into Marvel and are younger people, Tom Holland is their Spider-Man. That's their guy. Tobey Maguire shows up. All the old guys like me who have watched the original ones.
Even people like my age, we grew up with that. I was young when that movie came out, so that was the first. And that's another thing too. That was one of the first. That was probably the biggest at the time, biggest superhero movie. So that was the first time we saw a comic accurate description of the character. So a lot of people are gonna love it. But I think, the DC Fandom kind of proved something to that point where Michael Keaton showed up in The Flash, and he's gonna be in the Flashpoint movie, and people are excited about that, even though Ben Affleck's gonna be there, and we're getting a new Robert Pattinson Batman. So the people who love those superheroes in those movie times, they're always gonna come back and want to see that their character that they grew up with portrayed on screen. So I don't necessarily feel like he's gonna he could do Spider-Man and be okay, and I think he could stop being Spider-Man, and they'll just find somebody to replace him.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's all.
But again, it's going to be interesting how that movie develops. Now, someone had said, "Look, this would be a great time for Marvel to release the new trailer in the middle of DC fandom. That would take all the steam away."
Yeah.
But again, DC had its moment. It had a lot of stuff. We're gonna look at a couple images in just a moment here, and we're gonna get right into some of those trailers because there were some crazy trailers that came out. I do want to acknowledge one thing, and I kind of glazed over. So Kimberly, I apologize. Kimberly is actually related to Mama Llama. She's I think
nice.
they're cousins, and by marriage and whatever. But Kim, sorry, I kind of like saw your name and I glazed over it. So thank you so much for supporting me and coming on the channel. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I had to just check my phone real quick. I'm like, I know that name and I've seen that picture before. And I'm like, why? Oh, there she is. She goes, yay. Yeah. So Kim, I'm so sorry. I just glanced over it. But hey, welcome and thank you so much for supporting us. Make sure the rest of the family members join in
as well.
all the cousins and all the family members. Let's go. I always make that joke to my family. I'm like, I've got like 700 Facebook, family and friends. 100 of them, have liked and subscribed. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right,
what
so
was your favorite? What was your favorite out of all the bunch that we've seen?
Of what? Oh, the trailers?
DC fandom, yeah.
The Robert Pattinson, the Batman. I mean, that thing looks insane.
It looks beautifully shot. I mean, everything about that trailer has me excited for this movie. I don't want to say I was doubting him because I think he's a very good actor, but I didn't see him as Batman. And the way that they are depicting this Batman, where it's his second year as Batman, and you get a younger version of him, a little bit more angry version of him, where it looks like he's just beating people up because he's vengeance, Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think this is going to be the start of another Batman trilogy series.
Oh, for sure. He's going to have some legs on that Batman for sure. Kim writes in, it's all good. It's the new last name. It's still something to get used to. Yeah, you got married not too long ago. So, I think it was last year or the year before. So yeah, that's what I'm sorry, Kim. It didn't go by, but yeah, the Batman looks like they're building it from his early days as Batman, right? That's what we had talked about. But I like the grittiness to it. I think we talked about the detective part of what he's going to be doing. And let me see if I have an image here. He looks great as the Batman, right? Yeah. I mean, he looks good, and we're gonna talk about Black Adam also. But the trailer itself was so well done. It's like a crime noir. It's it's got this gritty violence. It's got a Colin Farrell who does not look recognizable as the Penguin.
The Penguin.
Right. And you've got the Riddler, who is going to be this menacing serial killing type guy.
I think the Riddler's going to be one of the best villains portrayed out of any superhero movie. Because the way they're setting him up, I mean, even in the trailer, it looked like he got caught early in the movie. He's going to get caught, and everything that happens after that we see in the trailer kind of happens while he's in jail. So it seems like he's going to be a methodical. He's not going to be a Jim Carrey type of Riddler, if you get what I'm saying.
No.
The goofy over the top. He's not going to be that. He's going to be. I mean, they're comparing it to like the movie Seven.
Yeah.
Like Zodiac.
Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting from the movie, is that it's going to be that level of creepiness. It's that and to me, that's a great departure from the comic book cartoony style of Batman, and really what the graphic novels would always capture about Batman was like, this was he was never the goody two shoes guy. He had some skeletons. He's got some issues.
He wasn't afraid to take it there.
Right, and he's just pure violent in the movie. And one of the things I think Matt Reeves, which is the director, I think he directed the Planet of the Apes or one of the Planet of the Apes movies. There's a sequence that he did in that movie that he copies in the Batman movie, which is that dark hallway shooting guns sequence. Yeah. Somebody had put it back to back or side by side. But that to me is his signature, his staple, and I think that it made that his Batman sort of presence that much better. These guys are shooting at him in the dark, and he's just flying through there. Looks just utterly amazing. I'm a little nervous though about bringing my kids to see it, because if it's as gritty as they say it is, I might have to go solo, edit it out, or I can go with Junior Llama. He's 18 now, so if he can't handle it, then I don't know. But little Llama, I don't know if he can do it.
Yeah, man, it does look dark. I think my favorite shot of the whole thing was the end when Penguin blew up his car and he thought he got him.
Oh yeah.
And then he crashes through the flames, crashes him, turns him over, and you just are looking from the perspective of Penguin, watching Batman walk towards the camera with flames behind him, and it's upside down, and then the bat signal comes. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going hard with the cinematography with this one.
Yeah, and you've got what's his name as Alfred. His name is Andy Serkis. Yeah, Serkis. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, he just directed
Venom.
Yeah, he just directed Venom, so he's on a hot streak for sure. Kimberly chimes in here. She says, excited about this new style of darker Batman. The whole wickety smackety, here's some jokes style was overdone in the late 90s. Yes, for sure. No, and that's true. In the late 90s, they were making these movies for kids. And Tim Burton had a little weird spin on it, and they got a little bit weirder with Batman Returns. And you put Joel Schumacher and all these guys in charge of it, and it was just a cartoonish, just over the top puns and jokes. And even though Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze is one of my favorites.
Honestly, a pretty good portrayal.
But he was so terrible it was good.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like, okay, he can't possibly have thought this was great acting.
It's almost like he was a dude with a frozen brain. It seemed like he played the character well.
What killed the Ice Age? No, I'm sorry.
I feel like with those movies, it's almost like the evolution of these comic book movies, right? Like those movies were trying to be too comic booky. And then when you get the early 2000s, and those movies were trying to be too realistic in a lot of ways. And now we're starting to see the balance of you get a lot of comic book nods with realistic takes on them, and you're adding like the best of both worlds. So you just see the evolution of it. Because, think about it. We had the Christopher Nolan Batman series.
Yeah.
That got a little darker. I feel like this is going to be even darker than that. And that was pretty grounded in reality as well. It wasn't necessarily superhero. It was more like just crazy people doing crazy things.
Right. In Christopher Nolan's world, I don't know that Superman could exist. Yeah. Like it doesn't seem logical that a cape flying alien would come in and be able to swoop in and take care of business. Yeah. Like in Christopher Nolan's world, like these are real things, real people doing real things. Obviously, there's some over the top things that Batman does, but still, nothing out of the ordinary, like a Mission Impossible type.
Yeah.
Let's see. John S. here is chiming in. Says the 1960s TV series was very cartoony and campy, but season 1, episode 17 had a villain named Falseface that was genuinely menacing. Yeah, and that's I love the campiness of the 60s show. I always loved Adam West's delivery. But yes, that's the hard part, is that there's so much material that's dark and ominous. Like the Joker material, there's a ton of that stuff. Where he's homicidal, he's a psychopath, he's a serial killer, he kills people, and it's tough. It's tough to balance, especially like in the 60s Batman. Like the 60s Batman, you couldn't get too dark with it, or you'd be censored, or the little kiddies who were watching it would be generally terrified, and you'd have parents groups up in arms.
Also probably try to sell toys as well. Did they sell toys from those shows? Probably.
I think so. I think they were. Yeah. The Batman people and all those shows were hawking products left and right, like Ovaltine and all kinds of stuff. Like there's just, I don't know about the action figures themselves, but I'm sure there were them. But
or comic books, probably comic books more so, huh?
Yeah, I think in the 80s that was the action figure like revolution right there. Like everything was built off of an action figure in the 80s for sure. In the 70s you had some it started happening, but I think the 80s it exploded.
Yeah.
So yeah, Batman being a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realistic, very dark, very menacing is the right way to go. And again, I think you have to have, you have to take the movie and not try to, and you have to fit it into a genre and say, okay, this is what this movie's going to be. Like the movie Joker. It was a character study. Yeah. It was a serious movie about mental health, and it just so happens to have the Joker as an element there, right? But you could not have mixed that up and said, oh, we're going to introduce, campiness, little comedy here. Like you couldn't have done that with Joker. Like,
yeah, it was too real. Again, too realistic.
Right. Right. And I like it. Pick one. Pick a genre. Pick some the way you want it to be, and go with it. Like that's fine with me. I'm all in if that's what you're doing. But if you're trying to mix and match and trying to make it all work,
I think that's why the Justice League and the Ben Affleck Batman really didn't work, because they were trying to do too much of the Marvel formula. I'm sure we talked about this before, but they tried to do too much of the Marvel formula, and they didn't find their balance. But like this right here looks like their lane. Like you could. I'm curious to see, because then if they set up like who they set up at the end, there's even theories of like Riddler maybe not really being the main bad guy, and there's gonna be somebody behind him. So like who knows? I mean, this it's got a lot of potential. They definitely got me excited with this.
Well, the hype is real, and the rumors are real. Like people are really talking about it. And I think some people who have seen the movie or parts of the movie being screened are praising this movie and saying how crazy it is. And how awesome it's going to be. I think Andy Serkis was on record to say that he thinks this is one of the best things he's ever done. And he's been in a ton of stuff, Lord of the Rings and everything else. So something to behold there. Now, still on the topic of Batman, there's the Flash, right? The Flashpoint with Ezra Miller, and the old man, the 1989 Batman is back. Michael Keaton is back in his role. There is no denying it. Nope. I mean, they're teasing it, but it's the worst kept secret, I would think, if they're trying to keep it a secret. But
I mean, they showed his mask. This teaser kind of got me excited for this movie as well. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that were going on with this movie. I mean, obviously, every movie got kind of halted with COVID. But this movie, even before COVID, there was a lot of like, what are they doing with the storyline? There's a lot of talks of like who the villain is. We see in the trailer. I'm just glad they gave us something cohesive and that looks good, because I was kind of worried about like them doing the mistake of like putting too much stuff, because the Flashpoint is like a very detailed like comic book. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that go wrong. I mean, it's literally universal. It's like almost like the multiverse in Marvel. Yeah. It's kind of that level of like breaking like what can happen. And it kind of makes sense that they're doing it now, because you got movies like the Joker, movies like the Batman. It's like now they're creating their multiverse in a weird way.
Right. And that's exciting. I was gonna say, just as you were saying, it's their version of the multiverse is this Flashpoint, which introduces, I think in the trailer there are a different version of the Flash, right? Mm-hmm. There's I think Supergirl is in it. That was someone that was flashed on there real quick, and then they're teasing that Michael Keaton is in this, and Ben Affleck is supposed to be in this. So you're gonna have two different versions of Batman. So again, they're all. I think they're all heading in the same direction, Marvel and DC, which is how do we get all our properties and use them, right? How do we use the nostalgia without being nostalgic and like milking it? There's a smart way. Now, Michael Keaton obviously is aged, and so he's going to be there's a comic book that fits, which is the old grislier Batman who is sort of mentoring the newer, younger Batman, or Robin when he becomes Batman. And I saw a couple of images of Michael Keaton filming for the thing, and he looks with the gray hair. So it's really something really, really interesting. And I love the fact that he's back, because he was one of my favorite Batmen. But again, something that the fans want is fan service and all of this, which is great. The great thing is, because of COVID, you're getting what you want in a very small, short amount of time. Yeah. Like this was supposed to be spread over the course of 2 to 3 years, maybe even more. But now, because of COVID, and you got to keep the stories going, continuity and productions, you're getting everything. Like this year is an amazing year for Marvel movies and everything. shows.
TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to make this statement because I went to the movies this morning with a big homie and his girlfriend. We went and saw Venom at 11:55 to a packed theater, and I was like, and there were so many people at the theater. I was like, "There's no way." I thought it was like, man, we're gonna make matinee or something. And then I get there, it's like, damn, there's like a lot of people here. And then they're like, pick the seats, and you can see. I was like, oh, like the whole theater's pretty much sold out. There was pretty much only the front row. And I'm like, this movie's been out for what, 3-4 weeks at this point?
Yeah,
like that's crazy, man. Movies are back.
And again, we're coming into the holiday season.
Yep.
November and December are big movie months for people traveling. People have time off to go see movies. It's going to be so much fun. I already got my notification to buy my Eternals tickets for my IMAX screening. So
we have to mention Eternals because we kind of pooped on it last week, and then literally all week they were dropping. They're like, "Oh, the Llama show talking crap." Trailer, TV spot, behind the scenes. Hold this. I was like, oh man,
it is. I'm getting genuinely excited for it. They're starting to show me more of and we talked about it, what we wanted to see. Yeah. And when I got the notification from you that look, they just dropped the more info, and I was like, oh god, we just crapped all over this movie, and here they are. It's like Marvel was listening, right? Marvel had someone in our chat room going, "Oh dear God,
Marvel got ears everywhere."
Oh, I wish it was like that. But yeah, no, the Eternals. I'm gonna buy my tickets probably tomorrow. Pick out my seats and get all my stuff lined up for me to go see the movie. So Eternals is coming out. No Way Home in December.
Yeah.
It's
No Way
just
Home's gonna be the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Hands down. And that one is going to take some planning. Like I got to get my tickets in the right place. I got to make sure everything's set up because I want to be there the opening weekend because somebody's going to spoil it. This may be the one that I go late on Thursday night. No, I'm going late Thursday night probably. Because I know people are going to spoil it, and then you're going to have a crazy llama rant that Sunday for sure. If somebody ruins it, man, I'm going to just explode for an hour.
Yeah, that's a movie I have to see opening weekend as well. I don't know about Thursday night, but I have to see it because I want to be thoroughly prepared for that Sunday show when we talk about it.
No. Listen, if I see it Thursday night, I'm texting you, man. I'm hitting you up the minute it's over.
Let me know if it's true.
I'm just gonna write, "Holy shit!" That's it. That's all I'm gonna write, or I'm gonna say, "Nah, bro, not happening."
No, there's no way that movie sucks, especially if they're hyping it to be the last one. You know what I mean? Like they're setting up the Spider-Verse as Sony. I mean, I seen it today. I seen Venom, and then you got the Morbius movie that we talked about.
Oh yeah,
the Morbius movie looks kind of like it's gonna suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing interests me about that movie.
Nothing. There's nothing about it.
I also want to stand by what we said last week about the Eternals thing because I watched the old promo. Yeah. And like with the lens of like what we seen this week, and like I was like, man, they have a lot more stuff they could have showed us in the initial trailer that would have got me a lot more excited than this trailer that's playing in front of me. Like if I didn't see that trailer, I would think the same. You know what I mean? I would be like, oh wow, it's not that good. So I'm glad they have. You know what I mean? It seems like we said this last week as well, but it seems like it's going to change a lot of stuff in the MCU, or we're going to learn more about the MCU in general.
Yeah, and they're going to introduce big baddies. It's going to be pretty interesting for sure. I'm excited now. I am excited. Can't wait to get my tickets and now again, this is almost 2 weeks before the release, 2 or 3 weeks before the release, and I've already got my notification. I'm gonna I think the pre-sales are already out. Since it's making records on the pre-sales, so that's going to be great. Now, another thing we had mentioned too is Black Adam, and so I was a little sour on Black Adam only because The Rock has teased this in development for like ever.
Yeah,
he put out a concept trailer. He put out like an announcement trailer. He put out him working out and then having the suit trailer, and then finally we get him in the Black Adam suit and doing some action. It was brief,
pretty dope though.
But yeah, no, I mean, it looked amazing. Looked dark. He squeezed that guy. But Shazam was pretty dark. Believe it or not. And so
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've seen Shazam at all.
No, listen. Honestly, that one. That was actually pretty good. I was surprised,
Yeah,
to be honest. And the critical acclaim it got and the reviews it got were warranted. It was a good movie. It was a great movie. So if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. But
yeah, I realized I didn't see it when I saw like the like mini teaser behind the scenes trailer for Shazam 2. I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever seen the first one.
and to be fair, the first Shazam, the way that they marketed it was a little bit goofy
Yeah,
with Zachary Levi as the character. But you realize there's a whole nother universe that they built, and they're world building in the movie, which is great. But yeah, so Black Adam, I was down on it, but the trailer itself looked amazing.
yeah.
He's vaporizing people with his hand. He fit it. Now I think I had read that The Rock had the suit restructured because it took away from the hard work he put in to sort of build his body up for this movie.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. Like, most of the Hollywood guys are like, yeah, no, go put the padding on the muscles.
It's like, no, I need to show more muscle.
That's right.
More muscle.
He's just, what it is? It's a costume. It's painted on. That's what it is.
Speaking of The Rock, why did he put that rap
Oh.
video out?
The Rock put out a rap video with
rap.
Tech Nine. Oh, The Rock.
He's just trying to do whatever he wants, man.
You know what's funny is I enjoyed the song. I like Tech Nine, and I think, if you're working out and you hear that playing, that's, you get a little bit hyped. But yeah, he was a little offbeat, a little bit, and just flowing wasn't as clean as I thought.
I felt like
and-
this should have came out late 90s. That's what it felt like. It would have fit for that time period. Be like, all right, The Rock's just rapping. But now it's kind of just like, why would you?
Yeah, man. And The Rock's like 50-something years old, man. Like Rock, man.
You don't got to do everything. You're the hardest working man on the planet. We don't need to see more, bro.
Right, we get it, dude. You can do many things really, really well. And I love The Rock. I've been a huge fan, but good God, stop it.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Black Adam movie, though. It does look like it's going to be a little grittier.
For sure. And so here's a couple more images that came out from the DC fandom. There was the trailer for John Cena as Peacemaker, which is going to be funny, adult, gruesome. It's just going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a really good show. I think he's really good at that character. I mean, he's almost just playing himself, but he's really good at playing himself. So I think the character just fits him.
I think so. It's like it's perfect casting. It's the right sensibility where he's so corny at delivering the line that it's entertaining. It's fun.
He's got a sidekick eagle.
Oh yeah, it's oh my God. Oh, here we go. Big Homie says you're gonna catch the people's elbow. Yes. Listen, if The Rock is watching this, I would like to have a conversation with The Rock because I love his stuff. But I would tell The Rock, I'm sorry, The Rock, you got to just step back on the mic skills.
Never rap again, please.
Those were bars, but you were offbeat a little bit and a little slower than the beat. And he's trying to keep up with Tech Nine, who's a fast rapper.
Tech Nine set him up. Tech Nine's that song's gonna stream well just because The Rock's on it, but he set him up.
Yeah, I mean, Tech Nine's like good. Tech Nine, right? And Rock's like, like, he's slow, man. He's slow. But again, they were bars, But
oh man, yeah, I'm excited for the Peacemaker show. What else was the images? It was like Supergirl and then Batwoman.
Yeah. That's so that they have their shows coming out. They've got. DC should put on display everything they had coming up. So
I'm excited for that Gotham Knights video game.
Yes.
I was watching that right before
pretty.
we got in the call, but that game looks like it's going to be a great story. It looks like it's going to be a little dark. And I was even thinking about, because I turned on my PS4, playing through the Arkham Knight series and recording that or streaming that because I haven't finished it, but that game is super dope. So I was excited. I was like, oh, look, another new Batman. And Batman's dead in the universe, so you get to play as like Nightwing, Red Hood. So
Yeah,
that's gonna be
no,
a dope game too.
yeah, it looks good, and there's a lot of things we missed. There, Aquaman 2 started to put out some stills from the,
Yeah,
from the filming. There's a Teen Titans that they're bringing out. There's just a lot of great stuff coming out from the DC universe, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting to sort of catch and watch those things. But again, there's just only so much that DC can do. The problem is, obviously, this is the good and the bad about the DC fandom and the DC universe, right?
Yeah.
There's something for everybody. There's a show for everybody, and it's great. The problem is you can't, at least in my opinion, the DC fans don't move in unison from show to show. They don't move in unison from movie to movie because they have a lot of standalone products, which is great because you can capture different people watching different things. Marvel is more cohesive, where all of these things are intertwined and make sense. And so you obviously watch because of the continuity, and that brings more people in mass to a particular movie or a particular product. Where, like, for example, I heard that Superman series is phenomenal. I have yet to watch it.
well.
I have yet to watch it because I don't know that I'm interested, and because I don't want to be interested. But I heard it's great. I honestly heard it was amazing, and so the Flash, being part of Zack Snyder's universe, and now that's a little bit wonky, and it's like it's redoing itself, right? And it brings in Michael Keaton, so it's not as together. Now I know Shazam and Black Adam are from the same universe.
Yeah.
And so there'll be a team up and there'll be a crossover there. But again, if you don't like Shazam or you've never seen Shazam, like, the Justice League doesn't do anything for Shazam.
Yeah.
Right? Where if you watch The Eternals, if you watch Shang-Chi, if you watch any of these other products, you're like, okay, at some point all of these guys will either intermingle, will mix. Now with the Multiverse of Madness, anything is possible, but there's still a cohesive story. It's not just, oh, we're going to throw Venom at you. We're going to throw this guy. We're going to throw this guy. It's like,
I just feel like DC learned they didn't have the infrastructure and the planning that Marvel did when it came to creating one singular universe. Now they just realized we could just make standalone things that can maybe cross over if we feel they fit, or they just stand alone on their own. Because it almost seems like the Flash, also going back to that, is resetting the mistakes they made with the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like resetting those characters so they could redo, do it in maybe a more cohesive way, because like you said, they don't do that. So I don't know, man. A lot of good stuff came out of that DC fandom. Honestly.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a lot of good trailers came out. Yeah, no, they've got good content there. Now can they piece it together? And I think the biggest mistake was trying to do the same thing that Marvel did. Like you cannot try to retrofit your universe if you've never established it from the beginning. Yeah. You got to have a reset point if you're going to do it that way. You got to have a reset point and say, okay, from this point on, this is what it'll be, versus trying to retrofit and like intermingle and, well, this guy can interact with this guy, but like it doesn't make sense. But I think it's getting better. I think DC is learning some lessons for sure, and they're poaching Marvel talent. So I know that they've taken a couple of creators from Marvel. They're showing them the money, and so hopefully they can replicate that. But I think it's almost like how in baseball you try to build a super team, right?
And you try to build the team to compete with you.
And you shell out a bunch of money for the top home run guy. You shell out like the Yankees, right? You shell out a bunch of money. It doesn't necessarily mean that every year you're going to win the championship, right?
No, but you put yourself in contention.
Right. So I think they're doing that. But what I would tell you is the secret to all of this, the secret sauce, is Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
And so Kevin Feige and his cohesive unit and his team are what's making this go, right?
Yeah, it's the vision he has. I mean, all the things he learned from the early 2000 movies, you know what I mean? Like being a part of Spider-Man, seeing how they fell apart and what they did. He came and attacked us with the right plan, honestly, the way they executed the plan, because that's a huge thing. You can have the greatest idea, but if you don't execute it to their point perfectly, then you're not going to get the success he has. So, I mean, DC, if they want to compete with Kevin Feige, they need to find somebody who has a thought process like him, who has a plan of like, hey, and I mean, who knows? Like the people they're getting over there that worked with Marvel already, these are all creative people, film creators. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna come up with their own ideas and like, oh, I did this here, and maybe we can make it work better with this property, or you know what I mean? So like, it's just elevating the game. The field is elevating the field.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, I hope that DC can come up with a cohesive plan and have, good stuff, because it's tough. It's a tough, gamble. And again, you're losing out on lots of fans. I will do another comparison too. Like if you look at the Star Wars universe,
Yeah,
it's what they've done is with Filoni and oh God, what is his name? Happy from No Way Home. God, what's his name? Favreau.
John Favreau.
John Favreau and Filoni have sort of taken the reins of Star Wars, and now are building the cohesive Marvel type universe, which is starting with the Mandalorian. They're going to have these stories to tell, and they're controlling the stories so that they make sense in the universe. They just have people randomly making Star Wars movies. But again, it's just you have to have someone at the helm of the ship that knows what's going on, and that way they can drive it.
Yeah.
So DC Fandom was good. A lot of stuff came out of there. Again, The Flash, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, Shazam, The Fury of the Gods. I'm just looking through some of the titles that they've been releasing. That looks like about. I mean, those are the main ones that I was interested in. The shows, again, that's why I'm not that interested in the shows, but definitely going to check some of those things out.
Yeah.
All right.
They're giving us a lot of good content to come on these Sunday night shows and talk about.
Oh yeah. That was a big event, and some people, were saying it was a bit of a snooze fest for them. But to me, you have to just, there's a little bit for everybody. It's not going to knock it out of the park every single time. So, all right. There was something else I wanted to cover. I'm going to do a movie review on the Many Saints of Newark, which I just finished watching.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's if anyone is looking forward to that one, I'm sorry.
They dropped the ball.
It just tried to do too much. And that's that. I mean, I and this is what I hate. I hate when I'm right. But in my opinion, I was right. I had said that the Sopranos show is a slow burn.
Yeah.
It's a series that's an hour-long episode, 6 seasons. It's a slow progression of the story. You take a 2-hour movie and try to make that all work.
Yeah.
They tried to do way too much, and they just ruined it. I not ruined it. It was enjoyable to a Sopranos fan, but the things that people complained about it, I did not agree with. Like, for example, I couldn't tell which character was who. Like, you could tell who's character, because they're younger versions of them, but like they were played like caricatures, and that's what I didn't like. But I'll talk about that more in my review this week. That's the one I tweeted. Like, it's not for content. Like, I'm just watching it because I wanted to watch this movie and I enjoyed it. So, all right. So I think we're getting near the bewitching hour. The chats are slowing down, and we're about an hour and about 20 minutes. So let's do a couple plugs. Let's talk about some of the things we're working on this week. So, AD, you've got the floor, man. What's going on in your world this week? What are you going to be working on this week coming up?
Like I say every week, just more streaming, more consistency with the content. I see my streams growing with like peak viewers. I see it with just people coming in. I think it has to do with me being on every week now, and being on for now that I'm starting to put actual real hours in these streams. Just me being on is getting a lot of views, because like I finished with like 33 views. Today's stream was 53 views in an hour 40 minutes. So I mean, I'm getting a lot of eyes on the stream, so it's just going to be continuing on gaming. It seems like a lot of people in the Blackout camp want to play that Back for Blood game, some new shooter that came out. So we might try that, especially for, we're celebrating Llama Wayne over there. So we'll have that, and then more COD content, more Splitgate. Splitgate did a new update, and we're trying to get back on that grind too. So like I said, just trying to be more consistent and get more eyes on the stream.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. And so, like we said, like this show, if anyone's watching this, again, this is your first time watching, this show is a little bit of everything. We recap the week that was, mostly nerdy news, mostly things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in DC, just fun pop culture stuff. We get into any and all topics. So our commenters are our lifeblood. So if you guys want to talk about something in particular, always hit us up in the comments. If you're not able to make the show, you can hit us up in the comments early, and we'll get to those as well. I do want to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed, everyone who's supporting the channel. It has been a lot of fun. Definitely ups and downs on the channel. But it's how you grow. It's finding ways to sort of entertain people and figure out what's the one thing that makes you happy to put out the content and that the people actually want to watch.
Yep.
First time reactions are gonna be it, and I cannot wait. I've got a couple more on tap for you guys. Once again, if you're watching this, thank you so much. We appreciate all the love and support. Keep those comments coming. Keep watching the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. That's how you can help this channel grow. Subscribe to The Big Llama Show on YouTube. You can like the Facebook. You can like the Twitter. You can like the Instagrams. I'm everywhere on everything. But the way that the show grows is through YouTube at this point and through our podcast, which will be available after the show is over. All right, so I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, AD, for joining me as always on Sundays. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you guys. The Big Llama Show is out, guys. Take it easy.